Tape Deck Media.
Welcome to Hosstown.
I'm Taylor Ruddle.
I'm Matt Lilley.
We are the mayors of Hosstown. Let's start the show.
Hey. How we going?
Okay, we're starting the podcast. Hello. Welcome to podcast. Oh, Lordy.
Did you actually forget what we were doing?
No, I knew we were doing a podcast. I just didn't expect you to crack into it quite straight away.
Hey, we cracked into it.
We are live, folks. Live television.
Okay, we've cracked into it. Okay, welcome to Hosstown. Alright, what is this, episode 4?
This is episode 4, yeah.
Episode 4, yes.
I forgot to check how many views we got last time. Hopefully it's...
69.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. So welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about the show that we plugged last time. I'm going to put this away because I'm going to keep fidgeting. I was there.
Yes, Funday Laughs at Galaxy Bar. First show at Galaxy Bar. We had a solid turnout of about 20 odd punters. And yes, it was actually first gig there, so didn't fully know what to expect. Definitely, I don't know, you've definitely run more gigs and done way more gigs than I have, but pretty unique kind of experience. Yeah,
what was cool about it was that it was one of the few spaces I've played in the last few years that actually had a green room space, which was nice. That's always appreciated when you're a stand-up.
Well, it wasn't, I don't think it's designed for a green room. It's more like the DJ booth behind the stage.
Yeah.
But, it was red. Yeah. Very red. It was kind of like unsettling. Anyway.
It was a little bit like being in The Shining.
Yeah.
That seems to be a trend with stand-up venues. Like my first ever green room was a pokies room that they just kicked everybody out of. So we were all sitting on those chairs that spin around, and you're trying to like get into your zone or whatever, and you're just seeing like this barrage of lights around you and jackpot noises going off. It was not the best spot to get into the zone with, but like...
What if you had a bad set and you need to get your mind off it? You just put $20 in the machine and just like, come on, we need some good luck tonight.
the amount of times that we did a Koha show and then someone put $2 into the machine and came away with 20 or something, like made more money than anyone else on the gig just from risking it all on the pokies at the back. But it's funny how like these things which at the time are not the best, you look back on them sort of fondly. It really is that tragedy plus time equals comedy, doesn't it? So
well, again, I wouldn't say the gig was a tragedy.
That's a good point.
It was a good gig. It was done well. It was Matt, the owner, and the other guys, Jeremiah and stuff at Galaxy Bar were great. Really easy to deal with. They set up the place. Yeah, it was made it look like just a demented like circus classroom, which is an interesting vibe for a comedy show. But it was fun. It was good. Yeah, a good group of people showed up.
I've seen much worse first ever produced gigs before, so you should feel pretty good about that. There was one bit that made me laugh. There was like a James Bond machine or something that was going off like for the first couple of acts, which I was hoping was still going by the time I got up there, so I could riff on it.
It was so off-putting. It was like a gun, like it was like a real fake like gunshot going off.
Oh man!
And music, and then like. But then, like, I could see it was the problem was it was distracting the audience because, like, they would all look at it, and, like, I remember, like, trying to deliver a punchline, and then just as I was about to set it up, that noise happened, and I was like, shit, it just took the legs out of the joke.
It's actually shocking how fragile a joke is. Like, if someone's attention wavers for even a second, like at the Austin Club, you've played there many times, the wait staff don't have a choice but to walk basically in front of, like, where we're performing, and, like, I've gotten used to it a bit now, and I think they're definitely a lot more tactful about when they do it. But in the beginning, there was no worse feeling than you were like rolling good, you're just about to hit them with a real big joke, and then someone walks in front of you, because they used to do table service, which was like, that was not a good idea. But like, that's a deflating feeling when you lose, when a punchline doesn't work, but it wasn't anything you did, it was just like out of your hands. That's like one of the worst feelings. Because you can't do anything about it. You you sort of just have to take the pain. Not to say that happens a lot at the Austin Club. They still great shows. Come along, please.
Yes. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, yes, yeah. And the first Monday of the month for yours?
Yes. So next one's 5th of August.
Which
Monday
is...
the 5th of August.
The Monday after this episode drops, I think.
Yes. So in a week's time, be there, Galaxy Bar, 7 p.m. Got we got, I think we got Tama Alexander, he's going to be on the show. Molly Wilkin,
Good lad.
You're good lad.
I've never met Molly.
Yeah.
I just assume good lad.
And more to come, TBC. But stay tuned. I'll be, Matt Lilley. Follow me.
Sure, there'll be solid cobbers.
Yes.
One of my favourite bits about it was the microphone there is like a karaoke microphone.
Yes.
And they told us really clearly, or was it you that told us at the start?
They told me,
do not touch the buttons.
Don't touch the buttons, because there's there's the power on and off button, and then there was another button which would change the pitch of your voice to either be very high, like you were talking with helium in your breath, or very low. And I can't remember who, it might have been Matt.
Yeah, it was Threadwell.
It was Threadwell who went first. At the end of his set, got through the whole set, but I think it was the way, he put the back in the mic stand on top of the button. Yeah. So but that's easy to forget, because he didn't hit it when he was holding it. But
that even happens to my microphone. My microphone is an on and off switch, and people will put it back into the mic stand and it'll flick the button off. So very easy mistake. Not a mistake, but a bit easy thing to do. I do a joke about being blackmailed, and I badly wanted to try my luck and push the down pitching thing, but then I realised I wouldn't know how to make it go away if I wanted to, so I just had to finish the rest of the set.
That'd be I kind of want to. I hope they keep it there for a few more times, because I think if you just practice that once, you'll be able to
get it down, and then you do the thing. That'd be great.
So I might try and play around with it next time and see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a cool venue though, and it has parking, which is I don't ask for a lot on a gig, but having parking is just phenomenal to not have to worry about that. Free parking, I should say.
Yes. And where it is too, it's right next to when that stadium eventually opens, it's right there. It's going to be kind of prime location.
I always thought that about Meepalopolis when I was doing my quiz there. I quite enjoyed parking in I think it's called it's got a real extreme. It's like the Revelations building or something. It's got a real.
That's that big car park building next to the.
Yes, it's above the Domino's Pizza. This is super inside Christchurch here. Yes. It's above the Domino's Pizza, and it looks right down on where the stadium is being built, which is. Is it getting closer to completion? Do you think?
I think it's about 18 months away. So I think it's early 2026 is when they're going to have it finished. So I think they're pretty much halfway.
Yeah.
So they've kind of almost finished the bones of it, and then they've got to do everything else. Yeah.
I was driving back from there the other day, and I noticed there was a single guy welding. He was strung up in the, I guess the harness and stuff, and he was welding something together. And this is about 10 o'clock on a Thursday, and I thought, what? Is this guy freelancing? What's going on here? There was literally no one else around.
I guess maybe because of all it might be safer or easier to weld at night.
True, you can see
on a big structure like that. Maybe I don't know. Right. Welders reach out.
Yeah,
I'm
let us know.
There's a couple of Hoss welders out there.
Oh yeah, there'll be a lot of Hoss welders.
We could make that a segment where a Hoss just writes in and explains to us what their Hoss job is.
That's brilliant.
Especially in this economy,
That's right, yeah.
You get the Hosses out working, contributing to society.
That's right. But before that, we were talking about... So that area, I used to park up there after my pop culture quiz, and it was cool watching the stadium gradually grow, and I just thought, this is going to be a sick location when, the stadium's popping off, but then they moved. So, I don't get to enjoy that. But we got a Galaxy Bar now, man, I've taken so many L's in that place. I lost for about an hour straight on the Street Fighter machine to one guy there one time. And it was the most frustrating thing because I think this was an issue with old Street Fighter cabinets. And there's a reason if you watch a tournament, you only ever see them play on the training stage is because there's not a lot of animations going on in the background. And so what would happen is the last few seconds of the match would randomly slow down and you'd have to watch it in slow motion. So you're just having to watch your defeat takes 5 times as long as you're watching your character lose. You're seeing your health bar go down. And so I don't know whether whether that's been fixed. I haven't played since, but man, that's just an extra way to add insult to injury is making you watch your loss in slow motion.
Yeah, that would suck. Yes. But come down and play games too. You can do multiple things. Cheap alcohol, good food. Anyway, I'm plugging them.
Their menu's massive. There was a guy, a few of us commented he had beans on his plate. Which
he got the all-day breakfast. So he had sausages and baked beans and egg on toast. It was
I thought this is like when you're not a part of the room. I just overhear talking about beans, and I thought it was a sort of, he brought them from home kind of, like it was a BYOB kind of situation there. What was cool about that show is you had a lot of young people in it. It was pretty much all uni students, I think, wasn't it? Our students and uni students.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just up the road from there, and I think, Evan Gadd, one of the comedians, I think he brought a couple of friends from there along. But yeah.
Good lad, Evan. Yeah.
Good lad, yes.
Not a Hoss, but a good lad.
No, kind of very... unfortunately, we can't initiate him into the Hoss. Like, he's tall and skinny, that man.
Pretty much the opposite of what we stand for.
Yeah. It sounds like we're about to then attack Evan for his skinniness. It's just,
well, we're not gonna,
Yeah, it's just like, you skinny bitch. No, I'm kidding. It's no, I'm sorry. It's just, it came out. It's just
the red mist descends, right?
Yeah, your high working metabolism. Damn you.
A great line from Billy Connolly was slow metabolism and fast appetite. And I was like, mood, relatable.
Yes.
So then next on my list, I was going to say as well, just like, you didn't seem stressed or anxious on the day, but how did you feel?
Stressed and anxious.
I guess
I was quite well because
it was very well.
It was a co-host show, so like if it's a ticketed show, you kind of have an idea where you're sitting a couple days out. Yeah. Which so it was kind of a new experience. I was like, I mean, the Facebook event, I was like, that looks healthy, but is that going to translate? Kind of did. So, yeah.
It's so funny because I had this experience with Gerard from Dunedin. Is like, it's rare for me to be on someone else's gig and I have nothing to do with running. So it's like a night off for me. I'm just like, I don't think I left that chair I sat in. I left that chair, went to the stage, and then went straight back to that chair. Which is a true Hoss move there. We have it's like you have a sense for finding the comfiest chair in the room, like, and getting to it before anyone else can claim it,
and not relinquishing it all night. It's like, this is mine.
It was like when I went to that we went to that gathering at your place. Yeah. Someone, I think it might have been even Georgia, that like kind of offered me that throne in the corner of the room. That was a very comfortable chair.
Yes, and our little pink little sofa chair.
Very comfortable, and true to form, I got up maybe twice from that throughout the whole night. So, and one of the times was to go and get food. So that's So then, you had the anxiousness, well, because you didn't seem like you were you weren't outwardly showing any kind of like nerves or anything like that, but
thank you. Masking my emotions has always been a skill. So
the classic Kiwi bloke. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, but so you're saying with Jared is like the same thing, where I asked him how he was doing running a show, and apparently he was like stressed out of his mind, but he seemed level, like fine and level. So yeah, good to know that it's not just me that gets kind of anxious running shows.
Yes. So if you see me at a show, no, I am shitting myself. So be nice. Do
not approach.
Yes. Or approach calmly.
Yeah. Like he's a deer in the woods. You've got to let him come to you. Hold your hand out for him to smell, and if he doesn't bite you, then good to go.
Yeah. But if you come too aggressively, I will bite. I have a history.
He's on his third warning.
If
he gets another one,
I gotta wear like a greyhound muzzle in public. So.
What I love about greyhounds is apparently they're really lazy. Like, they're incredibly active for about 10 minutes out of the day, and then after that they just want to lie on the, like, you have to get them a mattress apparently, because they're so skinny that they're like, it's not good for their joints to be like on the ground, so you have to get them like a nice mattress or bed or something. And apparently from that they just kind of lie there for most of the day. So
what a soft dog.
Honestly,
like, you know what kind of dog doesn't need all of that? Like, I don't know, like a bulldog.
A
nice hoss of a dog.
They're pretty good. They're strong neck.
I saw a French bulldog. I drove past one the other day, just like standing out the front gate of someone's house, and that's it's an imposing, like, that's like, it's the kind of dog that if you looked at it, you would say, I don't want to cross that in a dark alley.
The dogs are interesting. Like, you kind of just, I think animals in general, you don't realize how strong they are until like, you know, like you ever try to pick up a cat when it doesn't want to, and then you realize like cats are actually quite strong when they are like squirming to get out of your hands. Yeah.
Yes. And then also quite sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I can only imagine how strong a bulldog is with that big like shoulders and torso and everything.
Probably not that strong, actually.
You reckon?
Yeah, with all the health problems and
yeah, that's
and
true.
breeding.
No dog is healthier than like the mongrel that they found in a dumpster.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what its parentage is.
Exactly.
And it's just this like mix of colours.
Like,
and it'll live to be 30.
It's just like, but somewhere in that mix of breed is a little bit of pit bull.
Yeah.
Like any dog that has just enough. You don't want too much, especially if it's come from the street, because a purebred pit bull come from the street is a psychopath.
Yeah.
So, well, most of the time, pit bull lovers don't come after me.
Yeah, then we're going to get...
Like, that's a community I don't want to mess with,
actually. Pit bull shaming, I believe they...
Shout out Christchurch Bull Breed Rescue. That's, get back on the good side.
Yeah. You do great work.
Yes.
We'll move on to the next one. So we're going to talk about... We probably should have done this first, but it's okay. I saw something that made me laugh so much. It was Shaquille O'Neal. Phil Jackson got him to read Aristotle.
Yeah.
I don't know what book it was. I don't know if there are several books of Aristotle, but got him to read Aristotle in order to teach him. I think it was to teach him that success was a mindset or success was a habit, something along those lines. And it was in order to help him get better at his free throws. But all that happened is Shaq just demanded to be people to call him Big Aristotle, and then he had one of the worst free throw seasons of his career.
Yeah.
And so I thought we should come up with names. We've sort of done this in advance. We spoke about this at the show, but so from now on, I'd like to be known as Big Socra-tays.
Yeah. Big Plato, I think, would be alright.
Yeah.
Big Plato.
That's pretty good, actually. I never thought of that.
Yeah, I just got the double entendre.
Yeah, that's
Big
great.
Plato. Yeah.
That's a t-shirt right there. It's like the... Big Plato.
I like that, actually. That's
Would you want to be Big Plato?
Big Plato or Big Pythagoras.
You were going to be Matt Thagoras, weren't you?
Matt Thagoras, Matt Thagoras. That was the one. Yeah, Plato just came to me there.
That's pretty good. Big Plato. He's got a hyphen between plate and R.
Spreading. Yeah, what? I can't remember off the top of my head some of Plato's big theories, but could you somehow relate that to Hossness?
Oh yeah, for sure. We probably should have done a little more. It never stopped Shaq, but we
an ode to Shaq. We can't do any research.
That's true. Yeah, it's very on brand. And then after this, we're going to go and take some free throws out in the backyard and
most of them.
Because it's now 6:43 in the evening, so it's going to be dark.
A bit windy too. It was the wind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the big Plato and big Socra-tays. That's what we're going to be known as going forward. So the main topic that you suggested that I thought we could sort of get into now is how did you word it? You were talking about Hosses and politics?
Yeah, Hosses and politics. Mainly because it's politics season.
It is.
And we may as well jump on the trend.
Yeah.
It's been quite an intense politics season. And
I think even since you suggested that, we had the whole thing with Trump.
The whole thing with Trump.
That happened after you suggested it, so yeah.
Yes, and well, we may as well start with him because in body shape alone, I would class Trump as a Hoss.
Oh yeah,
he is a Hoss. He's but I want to also put it out there that just because someone is one with the Hossness doesn't mean that all Hossness conform to the same ideology.
We want to make that real clear.
We are Hoss is not a monolith. We are the one criteria to membership is act in a Hoss way. And would you say Trump acts in a Hoss way? I say the one thing that is very Hoss about him is that he loves fast food.
Well, yes. So I was going to ask you if you'd seen his. You used to be able to find online his order of food that he got after doing a speaking rally. He would get them to drive the limo through a drive-through, and he would get I can't off the top of my head. I can't remember what it was, but it was. He was putting a dent in some serious food, and I remember seeing some articles about it that they were like, well, it makes sense because it's consistent and they don't tell anyone they're going to roll up, and so there's a less chance of it being poison and, you know, all this kind of thing. And I remember reading on and being like, that's that's great. That's a great reason. And, you know, I'm eating a Big Mac at the time.
That's the thing, because like he's got to think now, like he's a bit more paranoid that they're going to keep trying to. Yeah. So, you know, someone like there's a chance they could keep trying to kill him. So like this food could get poisoned. So maybe he's just like, I'm hitting up a different Burger King or McDonald's every day. Yeah. You know, just like sending off an aid, like, hey, go some random, like, go 40 miles out of the city.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting trend. Warren Buffett, famous investor, I don't know if I'd call him necessarily a hoss. He's sort of like your grandpa kind of size. I wouldn't say he's a hoss necessarily, but the
bank account's a hoss.
Oh, yeah. He's got a very fat bank account. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He's been known to frequent McDonald's on his way into the office. Like, there's an interesting, like, I'm fascinated with people's routines and stuff like that. Even though I'm shockingly bad with them myself, but I find other people's ones interesting. He looks at the market when he wakes up, and it's like he has this system where it's like if the market's up, he orders like a sausage McMuffin. If the market like didn't change, he orders like a hash brown or something. And if the market went down, he orders like something else. And it's like the same thing, well, not the same thing every day, but he does that every day. And so like that is an interesting, like, even like McDonald's is the great equalizer. Do you know what I mean? Like
sounds like he's kind of just comfort eating though.
Yeah,
he's just like, oh no, the market's down. I'm sad. I need to go Big Mac.
The market down. Yeah, it's like 3 Big Macs, 2 Filet-O-Fish, large fries, milkshake.
And and in this economy, there's a lot of Big Mac eating going on. So
tell me about it.
This economy.
Yeah, but like, this would be a good place to get this out. Do you like McDonald's?
Yeah, yes and no. I kind of, it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like it's just, the value isn't quite there anymore.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's not even cheap anymore.
No, it's like you go just a couple of dollars more and you can get way better quality. And different kind of, and with Uber Eats, it's like other places are just as easy to get to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The one thing I feel like McDonald's deserves a little bit more respect than it gets is like, you know when you meet people and they're like horrified at the notion of eating a McDonald's, but then...
It's like grow up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, you think you're too good for McDonald's, but then as soon as they get a little drunk, they go out on the town or whatever, the first port of call is McDonald's. That's all people want, and it's like, put a little more respect on McDonald's, right? They've always been there for you. They're like that. They're like that old friend that's, you know, will pick you up anywhere, and if your car dies or whatever, and people treating them like a booty call. And I just,
one of my earliest memories is in a McDonald's. I think it might have been like,
it's probably a trend for
like, I think
the Hoss kind.
I remember getting stuck in the ball pit and like crying and needing my mum's help to get out. I think it was at like a friend's birthday.
Yeah,
I think it was the Linwood McDonald's at Eastgate.
Yeah,
because that was an institution.
Has that been redone?
Yeah, kind of. It's like that was like the first McDonald's in the South Island. I think it's same spot. Yeah,
I still remember it's just the same spot, but it's been because it looks like it's quite fancy.
Well, the whole mall got redone, I think.
Gotcha,
so, yeah. But yeah, we used to live just down the road from there, so that was a frequent spot for the Lilley family. Yeah.
My parents used to drive shuttles for a time, and so I spent a lot of time in the city, and so we definitely were. They were very generous with their McDonald's purchasing for us, which I always appreciated as a kid. But I was going to say I still remember the devastating day that one of the cleaning ladies was saying that I was too tall to go into the play area, and I went and checked. I was still under the book. You know, I had to crouch a little bit, but you know, like my credentials were still in order.
I hated that because I was quite tall as a kid, so I hit that height like before anybody else my age group. I mean, I was probably by the time I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So like my friends would like still be able to go in there. And, I'd be like 2 or 3 inches taller and be like,
you can't.
I would sneak in, but then like occasionally, staff member would be like, "Hey, kid, you're too big. You gotta."
Sir.
Yeah.
What are you
Hey, sir. Yeah. 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. I was gonna say you had the same.
Okay, I was 16. All right. It was therapeutic.
Excuse me, sir. You're gonna have to get out of the play area. We're gonna have to call the cops on you. I have a friend who has child. He's got a tall child, and he's like it makes the dynamic at the park weird because like he looks like I think he's in school now, but at the time he was telling me about this, his kid looked like he was maybe 5 or something, but he was like 3 or something like that. And when you're a little kid, the difference between 5 and 3 in terms of maturity is like, oceans.
Yeah.
So people would be like, why is your kid such a crybaby and all this? And it's like, well, he's 3, like he's not. And they'd be like, that's 3, like what? And so that the dynamic was weird because he'd go to play with other kids who thought he was older as well, and so they'd be like a bit weirded out when he would be kind of like a 3-year-old, like a little more selfish, maybe a little crazier. I don't know, but was that? So you've always been tall. What was that like? I was short until
what's the weather like up there? It was alright. I mean, I'm slouching, so I'm sitting shorter than you at the moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, it was alright. I mean, I'm not like I'm 6'3". I'm not like Shaq. To bring it back to them. But,
what age did you reach your full height?
Like 13 early.
Really?
I was like at least 6'2" when I was like 13, 14.
Shoot.
Yeah. So I was on track to be taller. So
what is 13? That's year 9. Year 9. So I didn't get tall, and I wouldn't even say I'm that tall now. I'm like 5'11" or something. Maybe 6 foot. I'm not sure.
5'9". Yeah.
5'9", but I wear like Tom Cruise lifts. I didn't get that until I was like in year 11 or something. So I was like, it was quite a good feeling. When you do the school photo and they line you up by height. I very much got to like walk past a lot of my former, like classmates, like, oh, sorry, like, I need to be up this end of the line now. Like I was new money rich and they were in a trailer park. But like when you're that, because it must be, we've all seen the stereotype of like how when you're playing like rugby as a kid, it's a real mixed bag of like how big people are, and you had that kid that was like big early. He would be like the superstar on the like under 12s rugby team or whatever.
Yeah.
Was that ever you back then?
Not really, because I wasn't very fast or good at catching a ball. But we had because there was one kid, like I was good defensively. I think I was always expected to tackle the kid like that in the other team.
Yeah,
but then I was kind of useless on the other.
Was it because they saw you as the big guy, so they're like, get the other big guy?
Yeah. It's like, well, we don't have a chance, so at least you've got a chance here. So I'm like, fair.
Man, what do you call it? I was going to say if I was, what does a prop do? That's a rugby thing, right?
Yeah,
I had a personal trainer tell me years ago that I was built like a prop, which I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's just the big. That's
just like a burly guy.
Yeah, the other guys in the front row that's the position I played.
So, so we're both props.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bit of a front row. We just need a hooker in the middle. That's
you're telling me, bud. What do you think we're going to do after this?
Well, we're not taking any trips to Paris anytime soon. Okay, all right.
What's Paris?
The Eiffel Tower.
Fair enough.
It's a Hoss Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that's right.
They really reinforced the support beams on that one.
Yeah. There's some strong ones.
Yes. This got weird. No, but
so we're the props. So our job, if we were on a rugby team, would just be to run at the other big guys.
Yeah, and be out the front and push at each other in the scrums.
Yeah.
Lift the guys in the line out so a good solid platform, and then just move bodies, make tackles, do short little head ups, and it just hurts though because you're just running into other big guys. Yeah, I was going to say, was that
a fun position to play? You're kind of like the meat shield.
Yeah.
What's the equivalent of like a quarterback?
Probably first 5'8". That'd be a quarterback.
Is that like the good-looking guy who gets to like kick the ball and stuff?
Yeah, Dan Carter. That was the position he played.
Gotcha.
Because you're the first person that catches the ball in the back line, so then you're the playmaker. You decide where to go with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I never realized there was such a difference in like body, it makes sense now that I hear about it, but like I couldn't tell by watching. They all just seem like big beef castles watching rugby. Did you watch State of Origin?
No, I saw parts of it. It was a bit late for me. I think I was at a gig. That's what it was. I was at a gig till about 10:30 that night.
For the uninitiated like myself, fuck it, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's get on to the politics.
Yeah. What are the people they're actually here for? So Trump, he's a Hoss.
But
he's a dark Hoss. Depending on what way you go. We're apolitical. But anyway.
We could talk about Taft. You were telling me about Taft.
Oh, he's William Howard Taft.
Good lad.
Staying on US presidents. So William Howard Taft, he was the 27th president of the United States from memory. He is infamous as a president because he was the biggest president still to date. He was president from like 1908 to 1912, so over 100 years ago, and he weighed in at about 350 pounds or 155 kilos.
Man. And back then, that would have been monstrously big, right?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
How did he get that big? Was he a drinker? Was he just a big fan of food? Like, what was?
I think food. I think he came from quite a wealthy family. I read today as I was researching, his dad was one of the founding members of Skull and Bones.
What is that?
That is like the secret society as part of Yale University that like most of the presidents have all been a member of.
Is that like a fraternity or whatever?
Yeah, it's like a fraternity. Okay. But anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, is that getting kind of Illuminati territory?
Yeah, well, The Simpsons parodied it in one episode where it was like
the Stonecutters.
No, that's
a real thing.
That's the Freemasons, allegedly. But let's go in weird places.
Okay, yeah.
But all you need to know is what were we talking about?
Taft. How did he get that big?
Taft. So I think it was just a hungry boy.
Yeah.
It was just
I can't hold that against him.
Yeah. We've all been a hungry boy now.
Mate.
Yeah.
Mate,
but he was a pretty driven kind of.
Yeah.
And he I think like it was kind of. They had to change, like, because they used to have the president, like, physical health requirements. Because obviously, if the president we wasn't healthy, you couldn't trust him to lead. If only they had something like that now. But But
what do you know? Does it say what they changed the requirements to? Like, was it just they upped the weight limit and then?
Yeah, the weight limit, and then I think there was like a basic fitness test.
Yeah,
like you had to do so many a couple of minutes of jump rope, and be able to flexibility test, touch your toes, all that kind of thing.
Oh man, I couldn't be president.
Yeah. So, but I think they changed it, and then eventually kind of just got it to the point where just like as long as you have a pulse and you're fit to work, you're fine.
You're currently alive.
You're currently alive and you can respond to the questions that the journalists are asking.
Well, there's a great there's a Dan Carlin podcast where he talks about how much amphetamines and everything certain presidents were on. I think JFK had all sorts for his back pain, and I think Hitler was taking some kind of meth by the end. It was, if I remember correctly, the German the German the doctors and stuff of the Third Reich were real, like, it wasn't huge quantities. Like apparently it was like, if you smoked crack, what is meth? If you smoked meth, hello demonetization, by the way.
Yeah,
I think YouTube.
We're 30 minutes in. It's usually just the first.
Nice. If you smoke meth, you're getting like 500 whatever, the unit of measurement, and then the Nazis were giving out like 20 or something. You weren't tweaking or anything, but
I heard the Japanese soldiers were big on that too.
Amphetamines.
But then also I think it gets a bad rap too, because like Adderall and Ritalin are amphetamines.
Oh, really?
So I think they were just like early sort of precursors to that kind of thing. Which would make sense, and all like you got to stay up for like 20 plus hours at a time maintaining focus, especially if you're at a watchtower or you're like a sniper hiding out. You got to be onto it.
I don't think there should be like a WWE wellness policy for soldiers. Well, you want them to be healthy, but that's
I think they get drug tested.
Yeah,
but more just like for like how like labor jobs would get drug tested.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the heavy machinery and shooting guns and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't really want. Yeah, to be honest, today they should. We do need something like that.
We need some standards, and I was going to say
we're going to reform the military in Norristown. That's what we're going to do.
We've got military reforms coming in. Nice.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's funny when medication tells you not to operate heavy machinery or not, and you picture in your head like driving a forklift or something, but realistically, it just means don't drive your car, because that is a very heavy piece of machinery.
Yeah. Well, while we're on that, because I have a medical cannabis certificate.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
And then on like the bottles that it comes in, it has a warning saying, "Do not drive with at least 6 hours after consumption."
Right.
So which I've kind of found weird, because I was like, oh, okay, I can just stop for 6 hours and I'm all good to drive. But you kind of are. So if you did, but I don't have a stopwatch though. So
no, you're not. You're not timing it.
I'm not driving intoxicated. Anyway.
I wanted to, because this is before I left my day job. We're getting very off the politics, but I think
it's a political issue.
We're just having fun. We're just having a laugh. I think this is the first podcast we've gone into without a real plan, and
we kind of had one.
I'm having a great time. I don't know about you. I was told I should apologise less on the podcast, so I'm really taking that
and
advice.
In life in general.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So shout out to whoever told me about that. I'm going to make you regret it. Oh god, before I left my job, I was not sleeping well at all. I don't sleep great now, but like it's a lot better than it was. And I did consider you can get like a medical, what is it, like CBD or something, is the thing that helps you sleep supposedly.
Yeah, well, no, it's more because you can get just straight weed, like.
Yeah, but I've never smoked before, so I don't think I would take to that. But I was just thinking gummies.
Yeah, CBD is more like a relaxant kind of thing. But yeah,
gummies. You put the oil on your tongue for that, eh?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's one way to do it. You can get like vape pens with it and stuff.
Oh wow, so, really?
Yeah.
Is it legal or is it like a...
With a prescription, you can get prescribed it. Yeah,
man, so we're not far. That shocked me that we didn't vote that through. Another political thing. We had when was it? 10 years ago?
No, it was like 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
The election before last.
We had two things we could legalise here in New Zealand. There was euthanasia for seniors and marijuana.
Yeah.
And people voted through the euthanasia, but not the marijuana, which shocked me. Like, I thought both would get through, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I think euthanasia got through very comfortably. It was like 65% or something. Yeah, but...
Well, it was very close with marijuana, wasn't
it was like 48-52, something like that. Yeah, so...
I reckon at that point you have to look at it and go, well, most of the country... Well, not most of the country, but a big percentage of the country wants it. Like...
Yeah.
That 2% who said no over... I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, it's almost like you're poking holes in the whole theory of democracy there, Taylor.
Look...
Like, you mean the majority shouldn't rule over the minority in a semi-fascist way.
You've pointed out a good thing that with me as the president, it would be like, should we enact this thing to give me, like, I can run for as many terms as I want, and it's, it's 35 say yes, 75% say no, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people, 35%.
Yeah,
we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, that's thousands of people.
Yeah, man,
what are we talking about?
That's several tens of people that would want that.
Well, that's
fair. No, you've successfully convinced me that actually that's fine.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
I mean, the logical conclusion to any political system is monarchy. Yeah. So we just need the King Hoss.
The biggest and strongest of the Hosses.
Strongest. Yeah. Which is, brings us to our next politician to talk about.
Was Jerry Brownlee?
I don't know. I thought you might know someone. But Jerry Brownlee, we're going to go... I wouldn't say he's the biggest or strongest. He's kind of... He's local.
He's a big lad, though, isn't he?
He's a big lad. He's a big lad, yes.
Who do you think would be our fittest, strongest politician?
In New Zealand?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was... I'm trying to think if there's any former athlete politicians.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been. I know in Australia, David Pocock, who was a former
I've heard that name.
Wallaby, like former rugby player.
Yeah.
He's a member of parliament.
Yeah.
For like,
oh man.
Yeah, has been for a while. He was always very like political when he was playing, standing up for a lot of stuff. But so he'd be like, the most in shape Australian,
the most dominant one.
Yeah. So
I don't look at any of our politicians and think like, man, look at that physical specimen there.
Yeah, I could take him.
Yeah,
I could take. I look at every politician and think I could take him in a fight. So therefore, I am the leader of the country.
Yeah, exactly. That's only right.
But then someone will look at me and think they could take me in a fight. So.
That's the way. It's nature, isn't it? The circle of life.
Yeah.
You're only the prime minister for as long as you can. Like sort of king of the hill, defend yourself, I'm
going to say this, and then there's going to be some like low level like backbencher that was like a former amateur boxer. It's like,
that's right. We're going to get a DM from like someone that's like, none of us are physical specimens, eh? And then they'll just send like a flexing a flexing pick.
And then we challenged them for like a charity boxing fight.
That'd be cool, yeah. We could
raise the profile of the podcast.
That might be our big break.
Yeah,
Nice.
I can't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, there was a podcast I watched where you just keep trying to call out like B-list celebrities for like charity boxing fights. Because that's the influencer boxing thing is such a big thing now.
Did you watch Mike Perry versus Jake?
I saw parts of like the build up to it. I didn't watch the fight.
Oh man, it was not a very good fight. Like spoilers, any of the people watching, skip ahead about 5 minutes if you don't want to hear what happened. But yeah, I think Jake knocked him out. Wow.
Yeah, it was a 6th round.
TKO.
Yeah. I saw the clip of it, and Perry gets up and he's stumbling, so it's
he was pretty wobbly.
Yeah, but my problem with it is Jake Paul was like 40 pounds heavier.
So much bigger than him.
And it's like, he's done this, he keeps doing this. He's fighting MMA guys who aren't real boxers. Like, they have experience doing boxing stuff.
Yeah.
But they're also smaller. So
Way
it's like,
smaller, yeah.
So it's like, it's the name, but then none of the risk. And Mike Perry, he wasn't even that good at MMA. He's a bare knuckle guy.
Yeah, he's apparently very good at bare knuckle.
Yeah, basically because his head's so hard, he breaks everyone else's hands.
I was going to say, is Jake Paul quite big, or is it just that Mike was small?
No, he'd walk around at probably like 6'2", 95 kilos.
Oh, yeah, so
he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how big he looked compared to Perry in that ring, and I don't think either of them are that good at boxing. Like I think. Depending on who you ask, Jake isn't bad, but at the same time, I guess he seemed very nervous to like mix it up with Mike. I guess when you look at his like how much he was a brawler with the bare knuckle stuff, you wouldn't be like psyched to get in there and fight with him. So I guess he fought the way that you do fight someone like that, because he was doing the sort of Muhammad Ali big jabs, not running away, but like keeping his distance, and then. Yeah, he just like wore him down, I guess. But then there would be Mike would doing crazy stuff where he would just walk forward with his hands down, and like I can see why, like doing the whole like no selling the punches to like put fear into them kind of makes sense. But like he wasn't no selling them; he was wobbling a lot. So
yeah, Mike Perry is an interesting individual, though.
Yeah, I don't know if he went into that fight with the right strategy. To be honest,
I don't know. Did you follow his UFC career much?
Not really. No.
I remember the last couple fights he was going fully off the rails. There was one point where he like fired his whole coaching staff. Like,
it was his girlfriend or something.
Yeah, and then he had his girlfriend in the corner, and he won the fight.
Yeah.
So and he was like,
she's like putting the Vaseline on his face, being like, "You're doing great out there, sweetheart."
Yeah, because I think it was in COVID time, so like he couldn't just go to another gym or something like that. But yeah, he was, and then he was like, "She's the best corner person I've ever had."
Yeah, that's hilarious.
She makes me feel good. She makes me feel. And then anyway, not a Hoss though, Mike Perry.
No, he's pretty lean. Yeah. I think that is a hilarious, that is a beautiful decision to bring you. It's like when comedians get big and they hire like just people in their life, like Starvey, Hoss King Starvey out there. Shout out. You're not watching, but shout out to Starvey.
Oh, he might eventually.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. He his team are just all the people that he grew up with, as a kid.
I think with comedy, if you want to make it fun, that's
exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And if they were like comedians too, sort of coming up, because I know with like Matt and Shane's podcast, they're all guys that were like local, like Philly comics.
That's right.
Yeah,
very good. Should we end on the Tenacious D thing, because we're coming up on 43 now?
Yeah. So do you want to recap?
Yeah. So they were doing a show in Sydney, was it? Somewhere in
Australia.
And Cage made a joke about. It was a pretty innocuous joke. Like, now that we watched it just before we recorded this, I hadn't actually seen it, but they brought out a robot for his birthday, brought him a cake, and he just said, "Don't miss Trump next time." That was the joke. It was make a wish, don't miss Trump next time. And then, within hours of the show finishing, they announced that Tenacious D was done. All future creative plans were on hold, and the tour was cancelled, and it really just big red button, kill everything. And we watched it on the TV just before, and you see Jack, because Cage says it, and then Jack doesn't really respond. He's kind of leaning over this with his microphone, and he doesn't really say anything. And then I think he just says "I love this guy" or something.
Yeah.
And
Thinking back, I almost think he registered. Maybe he didn't think how bad people would take it. I think he kind of inside was like, oh,
that's not a good thing to say.
Shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And then I think once managers and agents got involved, that's when things probably blew up.
Because that's the tough thing for him. He's like a beloved Hollywood guy now, I think. He's got Kung Fu Panda. He's, what are his other big stuff that he's doing?
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Yeah.
He's like, he's got his, 20-year, like good movie career. I feel like I'm missing something. People are going to be in the what else has Jack Black done? I'm spacing on it right now, but I'm sure he's got like another thing that he was doing. He's big on YouTube, I think, just in general, and he's just like a beloved figure. But like, I'm so shocked that like just like that. Do you reckon maybe there was like there'd been a little bit of tension or something, and maybe he just needed and he was just looking for a reason to end it?
Yes and no, but like I feel like unless it came up on the tour, but I feel like Jack Black's like that because they've been friends for a long time, a long time. It just seems very like delaying the tour is one thing. Like if they were just like, okay, we're gonna just delay it 6 months until the heat cools off, come back here, but that's not what they've done. No, and the agents have dropped them and everything. It's like Jack Black's kind of just hung his friend out to dry. Yeah,
it does feel a bit like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it very much seems like one of those things that people would have been angry about for like a week.
Yeah.
But then you let it cool over and it's like, no one will remember that at all.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have heard about it unless Jack made that announcement, because I saw more about the announcement than anything that Cage said, and like, it gets a pretty big laugh from the people in the crowd.
Granted, they were Australian, so like more, a lot more, and like not very many Trump supporters outside.
No, not much skin in the game there, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting, like, I understand why they do it, because the response has generally been like, we don't want to encourage this because that's going to encourage political violence, like, on both sides, and that's not something you want in a country like America where everyone's packing. But I'm honestly shocked that more people haven't been like, shoot him again, you know. Like I thought there'd be a lot more of that kind of response to it, but apparently even people that hate Trump are still like, this is not a good thing that happened.
Well, I think, because could you imagine how chaotic it would have been? Like, I think it's more just people being like, okay, that's not the answer. You'd rather go, because then what's, like, especially with how Trump supporters are, they would have found a way to blame that on Biden and the whole Democratic Party.
I think people are. They're talking about it. It was like, so-and-so staged it or something, or so-and-so Biden paid the, I don't know, all sorts of conspiracy theories coming out about it.
Yeah. But at the very least, if they were hoping to take, like, very much had a backfired on them completely. Because if anything, not to be a political analyst here, it's, strengthened that side of things. But
was it a real thing? Did he come out to Many Men by 50 Cent? Or was that it was a fan edit?
It was a fan edit. Because, like, even though 50 Cent did come out and, like, I think he's been an open Trump supporter for a little while now.
Hulk Hogan as well.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan, that was ripping the shirt.
Oh, dude, Hulk Hogan... He did so much work to try and get himself kind of back into the good graces of wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does that. So,
well, I think a lot of wrestling fans are WWE fans. Trump fans are.
Good point, yeah.
WWE fans. And because Trump and, even though
Dana White are good buddies.
And so were Trump and Vince McMahon.
Yeah, well, Trump was in WWE at a point. He was like on screen at one point, so yeah.
Yeah, so even though Vince McMahon's completely out of there now. But
thankfully.
So yeah, but no, it's just it's almost like how it's kind of swung things the other way, where it's like, how dare you talk badly about this man that took a bullet for his country? And it's like, wait, wasn't he like the evil guy?
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's I guess because he did a speech about it, talking about what it was like, what the whole thing was like from his experience, which, like, apparently you could hear a pin drop in the thing because everyone was just so like, wow, like, that's got to be a surreal, like, imagine him trying to sleep that night, like, thinking how close he came.
Didn't.
Like, just lying in your bed, like, wow, it was like within a couple of inches or something of I don't think you'd survive a shot like that to the head, right?
No. Yeah. Well, because even if it like clipped like the bat, yeah,
it would still not be good.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of wild. And then today, following that up with Biden pulling out. As of officially today. So
yeah, that's. I feel for Biden because I feel like he means well, but it's just like that sort of Bernie Sanders thing where it feels like it's all just happened for them too late, and they can't really they can't really. It's like they're in the right place, but it's the wrong time kind of thing, and you can see that, like, I don't know, I don't know a lot about the policy, but it seems like Biden was decent enough. Like, he didn't. Was there any kind of scandals or anything about Biden?
It was more just about him like clearly showing signs of cognitive decline.
That's what I mean. I feel like morally he seems like a good enough dude, but like...
Yeah, but it's the US of A.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the high... Like, it's not exactly the Catholic Church. Wow. Like...
certain parts of it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about him pulling out? Like, do you think?
I think he's brave for testing the job market in this economy. But
I've seen some good things about him. Like, he's joining like a joggers club and just wants to take it easy while he's young and all this kind of some good jokes about him coming out.
Yeah, he's just gonna retire to his beach home somewhere and I don't know, hang out with a grandkid or two.
Yeah.
Just go rest, old man.
Did you go rest?
Rest.
I feel like I was going to say something, but that honestly seems like a great point to end it in. So go rest, old man. Go rest, Biden. And let's get the plugs in. Where can the people where can they follow you online?
Matt Lilley comedian, Facebook, Matt Lilley 9, Instagram, Matt Lilley comedy, YouTube.
And next Monday, the 2nd of August?
5th of August.
5th of August, 7:30?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Fuck, I'm done.
Galaxy Bar.
You get the plug in.
Funday Laughs. Great lineup. Myself, Tom Alexander, Molly Wilkin, a couple other people that I'll announce eventually.
Good lads.
Once I message them on Facebook.
And it's Koha, isn't it? So you can
Koha, so just show up. Just give me all your money at the end of it. Or not. Just whatever. Yeah.
Koha just means donation, so it really can be anything in that bucket there.
It could be.
As for me, at Taylor Ruddle Comedy on everything, YouTube, TikTok. Go and follow me on TikTok. We are doing a new series. I feel like every time I fucking give this plug, I'm plugging some new thing. The hater videos, we're done with those because I just couldn't think of stuff to hate. Like, I'm not that. I had about a month's worth of hate in me, and after that, I was like, oh yeah, I feel pretty good now.
Yeah, did you feel better after you got it out there?
Oh, man, real load off my shoulders. But we're doing this thing now called What Do We Reckon, which is we're essentially doing Mock the Week, 7 days. Have you been paying attention? Where I've got about 12 or 13 comics from around New Zealand. I put them a prompt. And they send me their response. We edit it all together, and it's quite a fun little compilation of stuff. Last week, I think at the time of this airing, was things you'd never hear a Ford Ranger driver say. So I'm looking forward to a lot of hateful comments about that. And I believe next week's topic is if William Shakespeare was born in New Zealand, what would that look like? So there's going to be some good quotes there. So go and follow me on TikTok and YouTube for that, and Facebook and Instagram as well, all there. Give us a subscribe on the Hosstown YouTube page. Leave us a review and a rating on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever your preferred listening platform is. Anything else to get out there?
Nah.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Hosstown. Don't forget to share the episode and leave a review on your favourite podcatcher. See you next month. We'll see you then.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.